Once more again, good afternoon. Welcome to our discussion. For today, I want us to discuss the topic of why might you visit the US? What is the purpose of your visit to the US? And what are the various types of visas that can enable you to visit the US? I'm looking at it from the short time point of view. People who are just visiting. So if you're visiting for a short period of time, let's say maybe for 6 months, 9 months, or maybe 1 year, then you might then be required to either consider a B1 or a B2 visitor visa. And what are some of the purposes as to why you might visit the US? Number one, you might visit the US as a tourist. Apart from visiting America as a tourist, you can also come as a visitor. You're just coming to visit a relative or a friend. If not that, you can attend maybe, let's say, a graduation ceremony of your child, daughter, or son, or relative. If not that, we are saying you can also visit the United States for medical treatment. Now, I want us to look at some of the examples of different types of visitors who might be eligible to visit the United States under the B1 and the B2 visa. The first category of people who are allowed to visit the United States are what we are calling tourists. So, for example, we are talking about a family maybe from Africa or from France visiting the United States to explore major tourist destinations such as New York City, Washington, D.C., the Grand Canyon, and the Disneyland. All these are located in the United States. So their purpose is purely leisure. They're just coming to visit and they plan to stay for a few weeks or maybe a few months before returning home or maybe before returning to France. So you can see the purpose for their visit is majorly to visit, nothing else. So you can come in as a tourist, using the B1 or B2 combined if you are coming for both business and tourist. Business visitors. So the second category of people are people who might just come in to do business. For example, we are saying that if you are then coming in for the purposes of doing business, then you are simply coming in for the purposes of doing what? Business visitors only. A business executive from maybe China, Japan, attending meeting with the US partners, negotiating maybe a business deal, a business partnership. You are also allowed to come with the B1 or B2 combined, depending with what you're coming to do. So, or maybe a company visiting its headquarters, and the headquarters are located where? In the United States. Then we are saying that they are allowed to come in through using the two visas that we've said, that is B1 or B2. So the purpose of the visit is related to business, not employment. So if you're going for that, then you've got to sure that I'm coming here for the purpose of visiting, and this is the reason. Visitors for medical treatment. Example, a person from India coming to the United States for specialized medical treatment that is not available in their home country. This may involve visiting a hospital or a clinic for surgery, for consultation, or either way therapy. Then also we are saying that particular, for purposes of medical treatment, you can come in. Visiting relatives or friends. So maybe you can talk of a grandmother. Let's say maybe my grandmother is coming to visit me from Africa. My own mother is coming to visit me from Africa. Then we are saying that this is the type of visa that she has to go for. So if you're visiting your grandchildren who are located in the US, you're visiting your daughter, your son, then we are saying one has to think of what? Either B1 or B2 visa to come and visit. So if you plan to stay for a few months, a few weeks, so that is also a valid reason that somebody can be allowed to come to the United States. Attending conferences or seminars. This is also another way that can bring you to the United States. So you are either coming to visit for the purposes of attending a seminar or either way a conference. Yeah. Maybe, for example, a software developer from Germany attending a major technology conference in Silicon Valley to learn about new trends in the tech industry. Yeah. The individual is visiting for professional development but does not intend to work or stay long. So it is maybe for only a short period of time. Then you can come in to either attend a seminar or a conference. Cultural exchange program. There are a number of various citizens living in the United States. So then we are saying that one can come in for the purposes of maybe attending one of these cultural or exchange programs. A student maybe from Brazil visiting the United States on short term. Yeah. To exchange program participation in cultural exchange with the United States students at the university level. So this could involve staying with a host family and attending the cultural activities maybe in a certain university or maybe in a certain exhibition to learn about the American culture. So that is also possible. Attending weddings or funerals. Somebody can also come. Maybe a relative, a son or a daughter is wedding in the United States. You can also come. A person from the Philippines visiting the United States, let's say, for example, to attend the wedding of a close relative or to mourn the passing of a family member. These trips are usually short term and the individual can show ties to the home country to prove they will return home. Then that is also one of the ways that you can come. Maybe you're attending a funeral or either way a wedding. Visiting for academic purposes, short term. Yeah, like let's say for example, there is an organization that is taking teachers across the world to come and teach as intern teachers for a period of 1 year. You see, even though it is more or less of work, but you see the period is only 1 year. So somebody is also allowed to come here for the purposes of visiting for academic purposes, which is short term. Or maybe an undergraduate student, maybe from Egypt, yeah, visiting the United States University campus to attend a summer program or academic course. Yeah, although they are enrolled in the university, but we are saying they are visiting temporarily for a short period of time just to learn about how classes are carried out here, how lectures are conducted here, what is it that is happening in the American classroom that is not happening in the Egyptian classrooms or in the African continent classrooms. So somebody is also allowed to come and visit. Apart from that, visiting for an event, either sports, entertainment, etc. Athletics. For example, maybe the Kenyan athletes visiting here for the purposes of taking part in the marathons. So this is also the type of visa that they can use. A professional athlete from maybe Kenya visiting the United States to participate in a short-term sporting event or competition. They are visiting on a B1 or B2 visa for the event but are not engaging in any long-term activity. So they will only come, participate in the sports event and go back to their home country. So we already talked about either maybe somebody is attending a memorial or a funeral. Yeah. So you are also allowed to come and attend a memorial or a funeral for a relative who has passed away in the United States using either the B1 or the B2 visa. So you might apply for a B2 visa for a short period of time just to attend the funeral and handle any necessary family matters. Then you go back to your country. You are also allowed to visit the United States based on that particular visa. So some of the key points: tourism and leisure, most tourists fall under the B2. Most tourisms fall under the B2 visa category, which is for travel related to tourism, visiting family or friends, or medical treatment. So those categories will fall under the B2. Business trips. Individuals attending, let's say, seminars, conferences, or negotiating contracts in the United States typically use the B1 visa. However, some may use both B1 and B2 combined visa, especially if they plan to engage in both business and leisure activities during their visit. Duration of stay. Visitor visas typically allow stay from a few weeks to a few months, depending on the nature of the visit. Extension may be requested under certain circumstances. So it might as well be extended, but then we are saying that this might be on or under certain circumstances that maybe this particular type of visa might be extended. So we are saying that some of the common examples of visitors, the visa under the J2 visa category is what you've said, either maybe somebody is talking about B1 or B2. You can use that to come and visit the United States based on the above purposes that you have discussed. And also in the comment section, the first comment, we will be posting that to enable you also, apart from watching, you can also read through what are some of the various purposes that you can go and file and enable you to come to the United States. Thank you so much for following through. Remember to subscribe, like, share, comment. And as I've always said, nobody has a monopoly of knowledge. Let's continue to teach each other and let's do this together as a family. Thank you so much.